Straight ahead on CCX News, buckling up on the bus. A Golden Valley lawmaker proposes legislation that could eventually change your child's ride to school. Plus, snow problem. See how biking has turned into a wintertime favorite. And later, a financial lesson at church. How you can take a solemn vow to become debt-free. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. The snow moves out, so in comes the cold.
On Thursday will feel like minus 15 with the wind chill. This morning, the second straight day of falling rush hour snowfall led to more accidents and spinouts. That included this small bus that hit the concrete divider on westbound I-94 near Zane Avenue. No injuries were reported. But accidents like this are one reason that a Golden Valley lawmaker is calling for seat belts on new school buses.
Representative Mike Freiberg introduced the bill on Monday, and reporter Sonia Goins has more on the legislation. Sonia?
Mike and Alex, experts say school buses are the safest mode of transportation for students. Now, Representative Mike Freiberg wants them to be even safer.
I just looked into it a bit and, found some studies showing it does improve safety to have seatbelts in school buses.
Now, Freiberg's bill would require lap and shoulder belts on school buses purchased after December 2017. The legislation would require all passengers to wear seat belts. Otherwise, a parent or guardian could have their student opt out by notifying the school district. Meanwhile, some school districts worry about the cost. However, Freiberg says you can't put a price tag on safety.
As the NHTSA recommendations come out this year, I think that argument at least is hopefully off the table.
Now that cost part remains unknown. We called several school districts and there is no clear dollar figure since seatbelts haven't been required. According to the Minnesota State Patrol, there were more than 700 accidents last year involving school buses. Mike and Alex?
All right, thanks, Sonia. Well, today firefighters had their hands full with a smoky house fire in Brooklyn Center.
The fire broke out around 10:30 on Wednesday morning at 5315 James Avenue near the Brooklyn Center and Minneapolis border. At times, the smoke was so heavy, it was hard to see the home. Fire crews from Brooklyn Park, West Metro Fire District, Robbinsdale, and Fridley assisted with the fire. No one is believed to have been injured in the fire.
There's some eye-opening numbers out about drunken driving over the holidays. The Department of Public Safety says police arrested more than 2,400 drunken drivers between Thanksgiving and the end of December. And some of these drivers were very drunk. In Plymouth, one driver registered a blood alcohol content of 0.34. That's more than 4 times the legal limit. Police say the 39-year-old male driver was eastbound in the westbound lanes of Highway 55 in early December when an officer pulled him over. Riding a bicycle is generally considered a warm weather activity.
But just because there's snow on the ground doesn't mean you have to give up biking for the season. Delane Cleveland looks at the popularity of fat tire biking, which is part of the Minnesota's booming bicycling industry.
Slow-moving traffic is a common sight whenever Mother Nature decides to dump a fresh coat of snow on the metro. But while motorists deal with road conditions,
there's a lot more bike trails, bike lanes. It's just a lot easier to get from point A to point B and stay more on the trail than be on the road.
Miles of open bike trails exist at places like Elm Creek Park for those hardy enough to explore the great outdoors.
I enjoy getting out and riding outside, especially in the winter. I actually ride more to work in the winter than I do in the summer.
Travis Dorweiler is the manager of Maple Grove Cycling, where there's a collection of bikes designed for the 4 seasons. Particularly the fat ones.
That's going to be a 4.7 wide tire on here, so this is what they call a 5-inch tire on this one.
Fat bikes are off-road bicycles with oversized tires. They're great for adventure seekers or commuters brave enough to endure the temperatures.
The fat bikes are just a whole lot of fun.
Dorweiler's not alone. A U of M study funded by the Minnesota Department of Transportation found that in 2014, the bicycling industry generated $778 million in economic activity through sales, manufacturing, and events. Bicycling also helped lower the risk of obesity, hypertension, and heart disease. Dorweiler hopes the information helps others understand the benefits of bicycles and having infrastructure in place to accommodate them.
The easier it is for people to get out there and do something, you're going to have people that get out there and keep active, and that's fantastic.
In Maple Grove, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
A Fat Tire bike can range in price from a few $100s to $8,000. Well, if you've had to walk in the dark at a Metro Transit park and ride in Brooklyn Park, you should know that the problem is getting fixed. Riders say the lights have been out for the past several days at the park and ride on 63rd Avenue and County Road 81. One woman said before sunup and after sundown, it's so dark that she was concerned about safety. But today, an electrician was working on the problem, and we are told it was an issue with the timer, and the lights should be back on tonight.
Osseo and Brooklyn Park are taking steps to boost recycling when it comes to organic materials like food scraps, napkins, and paper towels. Those items are not allowed in the regular recycling stream, but Hennepin County is encouraging more organic recycling to reduce the amount of trash that's burned or goes to landfills. Osseo and Brooklyn Park both agreed to accept a grant that will help pay for organic recycling. One garbage hauler in Brooklyn Park just started taking organics, and the city is in the process of rewriting standards for the next recycling contract to include curbside organic recycling.
In Plymouth, a new apartment project is proposed that council members say reveals the current strength of the rental market. Plymouth Commons is planning a new building at the corner of Highway 169 and 34th Avenue. The project is meant to provide additional affordable housing in the city. The existing 213 units on the site have been there since 1970. The owner wants to put up a 3-story building with an additional 66 units. Rents for the proposed building would range from about $1,000 for a 1-bedroom to $1,200 for a 2-bedroom. According to income criteria, the project meets the upper limits of affordable housing.
But Tuesday evening was a special one in Plymouth for newly elected council members. Councilmember Judy Johnson was sworn in for a 3rd term serving Ward 1. She was first elected to that seat in 2008. And counting previous experience serving on the council and as mayor, Johnson has represented citizens of Plymouth for 18 years. Plymouth also has a new face on the council. Former Planning Commission member Jim Davis was sworn in to serve in Ward 3. In Brooklyn Center, it was a joint swearing-in ceremony. New council member Marquita Butler seen on the left, and returning council member Chris Lawrence Anderson on the right took the oath of office this week. Beside their roles as council members, they also serve as commissioners of the city's Economic Development Authority and Housing Redevelopment Authority.
A planned closure on I-94 in Maple Grove has been postponed a week. Demolition of the 101st Avenue Bridge over I-94 had been scheduled for this weekend. The project was postponed over concerns about this weekend's weather forecast. The bridge will instead be removed next weekend. That's starting on Friday evening, January 20th. The project will require a full closure and detour of I-94. The bridge is no longer needed with the recent opening of Highway 610. Coming up, parting the Debt Sea. A Golden Valley church takes on budgeting. That's up next in Money Savers.
And then later in sports, Armstrong takes on Osseo in a key Northwest Suburban Conference boys basketball contest.
But first, waiting for the warm-up. After a couple of chilly days, Thursday and Friday, there is a warm-up coming this weekend.
More than half of all Americans live paycheck to paycheck.
Golden Valley Church wants to change that statistic by teaching people how to be better money managers. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains more in today's Money Savers.
Costco and Target have a plan for my money.
Parts of Jason and Julie Beaver's financial journey might sound familiar. 10 years ago, the Maple Grove couple had a new house, new cars, and good salaries.
We didn't know where our money was going. We were just spending. And when we didn't have a plan, the money just seemed to flitter away.
We realized where we're at, we have not missed any bills, but we are one disaster away from major money issues.
So they attended Financial Peace University, a 9-week course by financial author Dave Ramsey.
Now this is a boot camp. I'm your coach.
It teaches how to create a budget, eliminate debt, and live financially free.
We have made a complete 180 to health. It helped our marriage. It helped us to talk about hard things, and it just got us on the same page with money and with life.
The Beavers even went a step further, becoming financial counselors and helping others on their financial journey. Starting January 15th, they will begin facilitating a class at Calvary Lutheran Church in Golden Valley.
We've worked with people with 6 digits of debt, and we've worked with people who are debt-free already, and we're doing a good job with their finances, but just wanted some tools of how can I do a better job.
The class walks you through the process in baby steps. You have homework, worksheets, and support, all geared to get you moving toward having peace about your money.
Work a budget. Make sure that you're always working a budget, that you're checking in with your budget, that you're reconciling to your budget, so that you know where every dollar is going.
To participate in the course, it costs $93, and that covers all the materials for Financial Peace University. But that fee is good for a lifetime because you can attend any Financial Peace University class at any location to brush up on your knowledge or your motivation at any point. You can sign up for the class on Calvary Lutheran Church's website at calvary.org. Mike and Alex.
All right, thanks a lot, Shannon. Coming up, a Brooklyn Park Elementary School finds a way to boost the brain.
But first, second-ranked Breck takes on number 1 Blake in a girls' hockey rivalry. John Jacobson has that and more next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. Some of the state's top girls hockey players are away from their high school teams right now as they compete for Team USA. Breck, ranked number 2 in Class A, met arch rival and top-ranked Blake, and Breck missing star Grace Zumwinkle. Mustangs at home for this matchup with the Bears. Mustangs get only 2 shots on goal in the first period. One of them a goal right there for freshman Allie Qualley in a 1-0 lead. Blake levels the score late in the first. Lily DeLanda scores. It's 1-1 after a period. Breck scores early in the second. Carly Bennick walks out of the corner and fires that shot in. And it's 2-1 Breck. The Bears draw even again. Lucy Burton buries the quick one-timer off the feed from Izzy Daniel. And then with less than a minute to play in the second, Grace Voida lasers in a slap shot. It's a 3-2 Bears lead. Blake adds an insurance goal in the third. They go on to win it 4-2. In boys basketball, there are a lot of quality teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference this season. 2 local contenders in the West Division met up as Armstrong visited Osseo. Armstrong's Cameron Draper knocks the ball loose to Isaiah Rollins, who gets it to Race Thompson for a dunk and an early 10-2 Falcons lead. Osseo battles back. The inbounds pass is to Matt Bezdacek for the Kevin McHale-like up and under move. The Orioles battle back within 19-17. Rollins with a quick crossover gets the layup off the glass on his way to a 19-point night for the Falcons. They nearly lose the ball here, but the pass gets to Rollins in the corner for a 3. Armstrong leads 39-26 after a good first half for them. Devontae Sedale on the move. He'll hit the stop and pop jumper. He also scores 19 points. Osseo will come back though. Maurice Nelson shovels it to Matt Bezdacek for 2 in the lane. The Orioles within 7 at 59-52. Alex Sinnen rebounds the Armstrong miss and hits Zach Tyson with a long outlet pass for the layup. Tyson scores 26 total, and Osseo's within 5 points. They turn up the heat defensively. Tyson knocking it loose. John Bezdacek converts. The Orioles close the deficit to 75-72. But Armstrong doesn't surrender the lead. The outlet to Calvin Green for the layup here. And Armstrong wins it over Osseo 83-72. The Tri-Metro Conference has had many different alignments since the 1970s. Longtime member Brooklyn Center is aiming for a conference title in boys basketball this winter. The Centaurs looked for a key win on the road as they faced Columbia Heights. Deshaun Pickford taking the dribble handoff, turns the corner and hits the runner off the glass early for BC. Lakai Patterson, it steps up and nails a long three-pointer from the top of the key. He scores 12 in the game. Rudwin Tahir drives and dishes Devontae Prince for the quick flush. Centaurs up. And this one's 7-2. Nice passing for the Highlanders. DeAndre Robertson to Jarvis Wright. Christian Kelly gets the hoop. Then Patterson deflects the entry pass. Pickford the other way. He helped the Centaurs with 18 points. And they're up by 12. The Highlanders switch to a zone and it leads to a steal with a big slam for Robertson. He scores 20 for Heights. But Pickford drives and sets up Amon Decker on the layup, and Brooklyn Center scores a good win here, 64-58 is the final. In girls basketball, Cooper took a 10-2 record into their Metro West Conference opener. The Hawks hosting St. Louis Park. The Orioles feature some good young talent this season. Freshman Shayla Miller drives and scores, giving Park a 7-2 lead. But then the Hawks come back with a 16-2 run. Asia Wheeler's jumper makes it 12-9 Cooper. Lauren Johnson will grab an offensive rebound here and put it up and in for two. The Hawks convert on several second chance opportunities in the game. Orioles 8th grader Kendall Coley keeps Park in the game, scoring 15 first half points off the bench. Cooper's up by 6 at the half. But in the second half, the Hawks slowly pull away. Asia Wheeler misses, but her younger sister Kiera there for the rebound and hoop. In transition, Drew Gaston takes it strong to the basket and scores 2 of her 13 points. Cooper wins 66-47. The Hawks host Chaska on Friday. And that's it for sports. Mike and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, a classroom full of energy.
The extra jolt that's helping some students in Brooklyn Park learn when we come back. Now finally, what do movement and physical exercise have to do with improving academics and behavior issues?
More than you might think, and it's why one Brooklyn Park Elementary School in the Osseo School District has Workout Wednesdays. Take a look.
High knees, get your knees as high as they can go. 1, 2, 3.
These Park Brook Elementary students are preparing for their reading class with a quick workout in the school's fitness studio. There is a focus on fitness at Park Brook as a way to boost academic scores and close the achievement gap. Last year, each classroom started doing what they call brain boosts each hour. It's a short period of exercise to get oxygen to the brain and help kids focus on learning. Sometimes the teachers incorporate the brain boost into the lessons, such as these students that were doing jumping jacks while practicing and reciting their multiplication skills.
The research really shows that if you have your kids moving, and even if you take a break during the middle of a lesson, and you're focusing on something else for a few minutes, you increase the academic growth.
Park Brook has not had any school suspensions over the last year, and they are seeing growth in test scores. Kind of feel like you need a brain boost at the office every day,
it's
too.
Working for them.
That does it for us.
And we'll see you back here again Thursday, starting at 4.